Welcome back to another Pick a Card reading. It's Naomi. Today's reading is all about answering the question, what do people think about when they stare at you? So we're going to find out what people are thinking, feeling, and wondering about you when they stare at you. I think we've all been stared at before, and if you've ever wondered what is going through people's minds when they look at you, then this is your reading. So today's reading is timeless, which means that these messages are meant for you to hear no matter when you come across this reading. Remember that this is a general reading, so simply take what resonates and leave what doesn't. If you would like a personal reading or a peek into my crystal shop, services, or e-courses, please check out the links in my description. If you are new to Pick a Card readings, here's how it works. You're first going to pick the pile that you are the most intuitively drawn to. So we have pile 1 here, and we have this really pretty white crystal. We have pile 2 here with the whale card and this blue crystal. We have pile 3 here with the leafy green card, and we have the Carnelian crystal here. And then we have pile 4 here with the picture of a sunflower or a flower and a pencil, kind of like on an artistic notepad. And we have Lepidolite. Again, pile 1, 2, 3, and 4. If you need more time to choose, please pause the video. When you're ready, go to the description of this video and find the timestamp that is linked to your pile, and then you can skip ahead to your reading all about what people think about when they stare at you. So I'll see you on the inside. Hi pile 1, welcome to your general reading. If you would like a personal reading or a peek into my crystal shop, services, or e-courses, please check out the links in my description. Now let's dive into your reading. Okay, so pile 1, let's talk about the Fool card here. So with the Fool here, when people stare at you, I feel like they're thinking about new beginnings or fresh starts. I feel like some people look at you and know that if you were to give them the time of day, they would literally jump or leap into the opportunity, to be able to be around you or to be with you or work with you or whatever scenario, resonates best with you. So I feel like when people stare at you, pile 1, I just feel like they would know that like being your friend or your lover or your partner or your colleague or your, business partner would be the best adventure, for them, the best adventure of their life, or like kind of the adventure of a lifetime. Like I'm hearing that song, Adventure of a Lifetime by Coldplay. So definitely look that song up. There could be a message for you in there, but there's that part of that song that says, you make me feel like I'm alive again. I feel like that's how you make people feel. Like that's the energy that you embody. And so when people stare at you, they're like, whoa, it's like a breath of fresh air. I do feel like you're this bright spirit on the cloudiest days for people. So when people stare at you, I feel like, they literally just see a lot of potential in you, pile 1. Like people literally, they want to dive into the unknown with you. I feel like they'd love to take a chance on getting to know your spirit. I do feel like you re-spark this like really beautiful sense of innocence within others and within others. And yeah, I just feel like others, they want to have fun with you and they want to laugh and play and just live more with you. So some of you in this pile, you could be free spirits, and this is what makes others curious about you. I do feel like you do things in your own unique, unconventional way. I do feel like there are people out there like watching your journey, watching you grow, watching you develop, kind of evolve over time. And I'm feeling like people are curious about like how you do things in life. So I feel like others are very inspired by you, or like they watch your lifestyle and they really like it. It really fires them up. So yeah, when people stare at you, and when we're looking at the Fool card here, I'm thinking that they're curious. You know what I mean? People are very intrigued by you, pile 1. So when people stare at you, I really do think that they're curious about who you are, right? When I see the owl card here, I really think that other people see you as someone who's very wise, someone who's very intelligent. Cool story. I actually just saw an owl last night. It was my husband's birthday, and we were going on a really nice drive, like just through like beautiful pasture land, and it was about dusk, so we saw an owl and it was like flying along with us, like with our car. And I just thought that was super cool because owls symbolize things like wisdom and intelligence and perspective. And I do feel like when others look at you, maybe you are even a bit mystical, because I feel like they just know that you hold this deep knowledge and this deep power within you. And yeah, I also do think that other people see you as someone who's very independent, because owls are very independent creatures, right? They know how to like fend for themselves. Oh, yeah. I do feel like when people, so okay, remember how I said when people stare at you, they're curious? I feel like with this always seek mystery, I do feel like people see you as someone who's very, very mysterious. Maybe you like, maybe there's a bunch of things about you that people don't actually really know about, or maybe they're not super familiar with. And I think that's super cool because you leave things to the imagination. And yeah, I think it's kind of cool. Like, I think in this day and age when we're on social media and everyone's just like sharing every bit of their life on there, and trust me, I've been guilty of that too. And it's nothing to be guilty about, but I think that there also is value in having privacy. And I think that maybe other people could see you as someone who's kind of private or keeps, you know, certain parts of their life to themselves. And I think that's kind of cool. So anyway, the next card that we have here is the Courageous Peony. And so it says, multifaceted, let yourself be seen. So with this card, right off the bat, I feel like people can see how multifaceted you are, how multi-talented you are. I feel like you have a lot of skills that are unique to you, and others see you as someone who's very valuable. I do feel like you strike others as unique and someone who stands out from the crowd. So like, no matter where you are or who you're around, I do feel like you stand in your authenticity at all times. And you're not afraid to let your true self be seen, right? I feel like you're someone who can stand in their own individuality and uniqueness. And this is what magnetizes others to you, pile one. So yeah, I do feel like people think that you're very strong and you're brave and you're bold, and others might look at you or kind of gaze at you, kind of wondering how you carry yourself with such strength and such confidence. I think that you hold it all together really well, pile one. I feel like you're someone who's transparent and you're open and you're willing to let others see the real you. And I feel like you're just the type of person that's very honest and sincere, and you allow yourself to be vulnerable so that that kind of unlocks and gives other people permission to do the same thing too, right? Because that's when we build deeper connections with people, is when we go through vulnerable moments with them, right? When we let certain experiences that we go through be seen, right? Certain parts of us. So yeah, I just feel like you're the type of person who isn't afraid to have real conversations and talk about things that people don't want to speak about. We have the delusion card here, and it says, intention without surrender can be a fast path to delusion. So I feel like maybe people, maybe they don't feel like they understand you, right? They feel a little clouded. They feel like maybe the way that they're perceiving you right off the bat, they're wondering like, is that really that person? Is that really like their personality? Because they're very mysterious too. So I feel like they kind of like, this is just reminding me of like, I don't know, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm in this state of like, I don't know, like there's something about you that people maybe are more curious about, but they're not seeing right away. You know what I mean? Oh, you know what? Okay. With the delusion card too, I'm thinking like, okay, so delusion means like false belief, right? Or judgment. And I feel like maybe you might like look like someone. Like, I don't know if you've ever gotten like, hey, you really look like someone I know. And so it's like the wrong person, the false person, right? So I don't know if people look at you like, oh, like you look familiar, and it's like, no, like I don't know you, like you know what I mean? Like that's one way that I'm seeing this. But anyway, the next card that we have here is a mood boost card, and it says go the distance. So with this card, it says, did you know that one little switch can level up your internal pep talks? It's trendy to speak I am statements over yourself. Those affirmations definitely have a place in your inner dialogue, but swapping out I for you can add potency. You statements create mental and emotional distance. It's almost as if someone else is offering you encouraging words. The positive self-talk perceived as external support can be a game changer when you're feeling overwhelmed. Keep a few you statements in your back pocket so you've always got a pep talk on deck. I do also feel like with the go the distance card here, I feel like people, they look at you and they're like, they want to go the distance with you. They're willing to take that leap. They want to get to know you. They want to get to know you on a deeper level, right? They want to go that distance with you. We do have the offerings card here. And when people look at you, I really do feel like they see you as a gift. So people really, really appreciate you, pile one. And I feel like you know who these people are. And if you don't, I'm feeling like you will, you'll find your people. And people, they also see you as someone who's rare and precious, like a true gem. And you mean a lot to others, and you hold a lot of value in people's lives, and your words mean a lot, and, your opinions mean a lot. And I think that people, like, what you believe about others means a lot to them, right? So I feel like people treasure you and want to be in your good graces. I really do feel like you're someone who others are really grateful to know, and you're very loved and you're very cherished, and I'm hearing like more than you know. So I feel like others would offer up the world to like be around you, or be with you, work with you. I do feel like you have people who truly adore you, pile one. So people might even like look at you or gaze at you knowing that they want to offer you something. Their friendship, their time, their love, their ideas, whatever applies to you, right? But I am hearing the word proposal, like offer, things like that, things along those lines. So yeah, people just want to give you their thanks. So be on the lookout for receiving a gift in some way soon if you haven't received it already, pile one. We have the teacher card here, and so it says Jupiter. To know is to grow. So it says knowledgeable, intelligent, growth-oriented, trustable, understanding, communicative, compassionate, prosperous, social, inspired, self-aware, generous, considerate, and virtuous. So I do think that these are words that come to mind when people look at you. This is how people perceive you. And I feel like people see you as someone who's very wise and someone who's very knowledgeable beyond your years. And I think you've always had this gift, I feel like others see you as a guide, as someone who they can trust and come to with their questions and their life experiences and so much more. I feel like people see you as an amazing role model. And I also feel like you have excellent communication skills. Like you pick up on social nuances, I feel like you communicate with consideration and with other people's well-being in mind. And I think a lot of people struggle with that. So yeah, I do feel like you're an excellent listener. You're really like this good shoulder to cry on. And I feel like you just have the most sage words of wisdom and advice when people need it the most. I feel like people see you as someone who's very dependable, someone who's very honest and sincere, as we talked about before. And others really love how compassionate and patient and empathetic you are, pile one. Like, I don't know, I'm also getting that maybe you might be good with like kids or animals or the elderly. Another thing that I want to mention here is that others can see that you love learning and you're extremely intelligent, and they love the lifelong learner perspective that you carry. So, you know that there is always something new to learn, something that we've never considered before, and something that is different to experience, right? Like others love this open, experimental, like minded side of you, and you're really good at expanding like the consciousness of those around you. So big time light worker energy. And I feel like the actions that you take are ones that like lift up humanity. So very, very good. We have the wild card here. So some of you may feel like a wild card to people, but we have overwhelm. So right away, I'm thinking that people might look at you and feel a little overwhelmed. Like I don't know how to talk to them. I don't know how to approach them. But let's read this. Okay. Ever feel like you're drowning in a sea of emotion? Oh yeah, see, this is where I think this is coming from the perspective of the other person. So, ever feel like you're drowning in a sea of emotion, like you're juggling so much that you're afraid of dropping the ball on something important? You're not alone. Say hello to overwhelm. If you're in the midst of overwhelm, pause and write down everything that's on your plate. Now go through the list and identify which of these balls in the air are plastic and can bounce back if you drop them, and which are glass, and therefore a priority. Can you delegate and toss any of these tasks to a support person who can help you overcome your overwhelm? I would say the overwhelm. It's not your overwhelm, right? Okay, anyway. Take a moment and breathe. The next time your body throws you too many balls and you feel overwhelmed, know that you have a plan. You can do it. Take a moment and breathe. Let's do that, pile one, okay? In through the nose. And out through the mouth. One more time, in through the nose. And out through the mouth. One more time. Let's take a deep breath in through your nose. And exhale out of your mouth. Taking deep breaths is very grounding. So when you feel overwhelmed, it really does like bring you back to center. I know I needed that, so thank you, pile one. What I want to do is pull some tea leaf cards and see what else people think about when they stare at you. So we got our tea leaf little fortune cards here. What do people think about when they stare at you? Okay. Okay, so right away, I'm just looking at all of this, and some of you might find that you are being stared at by a man or men, if that applies. I feel like you might be someone who like you feel like you get stared at quite often. I don't know, that might resonate with some of you. Some of you might feel like you're stared at a lot. And right, I feel like you're very discerning. Like this one says a two-faced friend. I think that you don't allow everyone who like tries to approach you like into your energy, right? Like you don't give everybody access to your energy, and that's very smart, right? You don't, although like some people will be like, wow, like, you know, everyone's paying attention to me. Like, it's very tempting to like think that, but I think you're discerning because you know, like not everybody is like for you, right? So yeah. Yeah, okay, so the interesting thing is if you are in a place, this is going to be a very specific message for some of you, but if you feel like you're in a place where you feel like you're caught in some indecision, you feel like your life might be kind of like rambling, right? Like aimlessly, like you don't know what direction it's going in. Just know that, you know, you're going to be getting a helping hand. You do have people that support you with a secret admirer, and it says news of a birth or a business opportunity. So I think more stable times are ahead. It says new creative ideas, new ventures, a fresh start. And it says stepping into a new experience. So I think like you're leaving anything, like even if you had like, for some of you, this is very specific. If you had any like involvement with the law and you want to like move past that, I think your life is headed in like a far more positive direction where the sun will rise again and you're going to step into a new experience. So yes. Any other themes from the Astral House cards here? Success. Yeah, I do feel like people definitely see you as someone who's successful. I also think that you make other people very, very happy. We've spoken about that before. I'm not surprised because with the Sun card, I feel like you're just someone who brightens people's days. Thank you so much, Pile 1. Please give this video a like if it resonated, comment below with what pile you chose, and subscribe if you have not already. I noticed that there's a ton of you who have been watching, but you haven't subscribed yet, so please subscribe. I would love to have you be the first in line to see the next reading, and I just love to have you as part of my community. So thank you, take care of yourself, and I'll see you next time. Bye, Pile 1. Hi, Pile 2. Welcome to your general reading. If you would like a personal reading or a peek into my crystal shop, services, or e-courses, please check out the links in the description. Now let's dive into your reading. Okay, so Pile 2. So, okay, people stare at you because they're contemplating on how to talk to you or approach you. With the Two of Wands here, you see that this gal or this person is sitting by a window. They're kind of gazing out. They might be contemplating something. They might be wondering how to get there. We see kind of this globe and like a little car. Looks like maybe this person's planning on going on an adventure, but they haven't quite taken that step, right? They're still thinking about it. They're still planning it. So yeah, I feel like people could be staring at you because they might literally like not know what to do when they see you. I feel like I'm hearing like you're stunning, you're amazing, and you stop people in their tracks. You know what I mean? Like even like if you look at this person here, oops, let's see if it will focus. Don't they look like they're just gazing? Like people do like just gaze at you and like with wonder, you know? I feel like this is your energy too. It's very loving and it's very like supportive and creative. And yeah, when people stare at you, pile 2, I think that they're very, very drawn towards your energy. So I do feel like your energy exudes passion and drive and motivation and ambition and confidence. And I feel like people have been planning on approaching like how to talk to you, but maybe they're nervous about how to make that move, right? So I feel like they might be like internally trying to explore different scenarios or ways that it could work out if they approached you. I feel like when people stare at you, their mind is in discovery mode. So they might stare because they're observing your amazing light and presence, pile 2, or they might want to find out more about you. Like I can really see them like researching your name on the internet, trying to find your social media, you know, trying to learn more about what you like and prefer. I feel like they want to make sure that they match your criteria, right? I feel like they don't want to be like shut down by you. I feel like they do really want to set themselves up for success with you before taking that first step and like approaching you. So, you know, if you feel like people are looking at you, like they could be just like being extra careful or cautious with their own personal feelings too. Like maybe they don't feel like they want to be turned down or rejected by you, you know? Because I've had that before, like, oh, like, why is this person looking at me? Like, you know, they should at least say hello or something. Like sometimes I think that, and it's just like, like that's just like my ego being like, what? Like, you know, and I feel like other people too cannot want to feel like turned down or rejected or, you know, those kinds of things. So yeah, I just feel like people could be mustering up the courage to come up and talk to you and tell you how they feel and maybe propose a business idea or a project to you. I feel like people see you as someone they'd like to pair up with for the long term. So whether your situation is like romantic or platonic or career focused, I really do feel like people see a ton of possibility and potential within you, pile 2. So that's great. We have the whale card here. And so right off the bat, I feel like people can tell like people can tell that you're a very deep person. You have a lot of depth to you. You have a lot of wisdom. And I feel like you have a lot of heart, you know? So let's turn this over. It says, look within. Yeah, I do feel like people can tell that you're very introspective. They can tell that you are very in tune with yourself. You know what I want to do actually? I have a really cool book that I got from a wonderful shop out in the town that my husband's actually from. So it's kind of cool. But this is called the Animal Power Book, 100 Animals to Energize Your Life and Awaken Your Soul. So we do have the whale card, right? So let's find out a little bit more about what people think about you when they stare at you. So we're going to look for whale. Okay, so here are some words to describe what people are thinking or maybe think of you when they stare at you. So it says telepathy, ancient record keeper, communication, song, power, regeneration, release, up-leveling. Isn't the illustration on this beautiful? People think you are just the most divine, beautiful being, pile 2. I feel it. That's why people stare at you. They are like checking you out, looking at you. You are like, you know how whales are just like, oh, they're majestic, they're regal. That's what I'm getting. You literally give people like chills. You know what I mean? Like say you were in an ocean and you were swimming and a big whale swam by you. Like how would you feel? You would feel kind of overcome with like, whoa, my goodness. Like, right? Like that could be kind of the feeling that people feel when they see you. Ooh, Okay, so this says, is there a conversation that needs to be had? I embody great medicine of ancient sound and communication. Call upon me to guide you in the next steps. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you're very skilled in communication, but not only that, I do feel like when people stare at you, they really do want to be in communication with you. They want to be in conversation with you, and they feel like you're very healing. You know, your energy is very healing to them. So, okay, I love using, like, if you guys are into, like, interpreting like what, you know, spirit animals mean, or you love, like, you know, things like angel numbers, those kinds of things, man, we are very much alike. And I do actually have a free guide on how to interpret your most commonly seen angel numbers. So the link for that is in the description. It's a free guide. It's awesome. It's a little PDF download. So I like to keep it on my phone, and that helps me to interpret these angel numbers as I see them in real time. So it's that much more helpful. And I feel like it strengthens my intuition a lot, like, quicker that way, you know? Because when you can apply your knowledge, like, right then and there in that situation, I think that's when you can really deepen knowledge in ways that you could have never imagined. So anyway, okay, we have the Breath of the Cosmos card, and it says, my will to thy will, micromanaging the universe. Yeah, with this card, first of all, I want to bring this card up because this is another very beautiful illustration. You have a lot of, like, aesthetic beauty to your pile. So I think that people think that you're very aesthetically pleasing, you're very beautiful, you're very, you know, attractive. But with the Breath of the Cosmos here, you know, I feel like people see you as someone who is very much in control of their own life. Like, you might be someone with a plan, someone who is organized, someone who knows exactly how they're taking action towards their goals. You know, I don't know if some of you operate more in, like, a type A type of energy. Like, some of you I'm hearing are like a mix of the two, but I get that you're like some of you are like the organized planners in, like, your family or your bunch or your friend group. And you might be someone who has a tough time with letting the universe take the wheel, you know, like, yeah, I feel like going with the flow, it can be tough when we have our hand in everything and just trying to make sure everything goes, like, well and smooth. Like, I totally get it. But when I see this card, I'm always reminded to, like, let go and loosen my grip a little bit. Because, you know, when you've done your part and you've taken your action and done all of that, then it's really time to loosen up the reins and just take a step back and allow the universe to handle the rest, right? Because it can just be so exhausting to push and force and make things happen all of the time. And trust me, like, I get it, you know, because if we don't do it, then who will, right? I feel like that's often an internal question that pops up when we're stressed, right? So I feel like you're being asked to pause, take a moment for yourself and allow this rest to come into your life. Because there's always going to be work that needs to be done, right? So take a moment for yourself and allow rest to come into your life. I feel like there will always be work to be done. You know what I mean? So take the moments of being in a liminal space as time to actually gather yourself and reset before the next marathon. You know what I mean? Like, surrender can be very soothing. So yeah, we do have the acceptance card here, and it says radical acceptance in the now opens the flow. I do feel like people see you as someone who has a lot of self-acceptance. They accept themselves. They're not afraid to be the real them, right? I feel like you're just like, you're someone who stays very true to who they are, right? I feel like you don't try to be anybody else but yourself. And I feel like you're very accepting of others too. I feel like many of you in this pile are empaths. So, you know, I feel like you have this deep level of sensitivity and compassion and connection to the emotional needs of others as well as yourself. I feel like you feel things very deeply. People see you as very, like, compassionate and caring, and you're always thinking about people's feelings, right? So if you think you're an empath, check out the video I made. It's in the description to find out more about being an empath. And if you are also interested in learning more about your empath gifts, you know, managing energetic overwhelm and kind of reducing those self-limiting beliefs, I invite you to take part of my empath self-study course that's linked for you in the description. Okay, so we also have a Show It's Possible card. And so it says, you are someone's inspiration, or you could be if you spoke up. You may not feel that far along, but you seem light years ahead to someone who hasn't started. It's not self-centered to share your growth journey with your intention, when your intention is to serve. Help someone avoid the mistakes you made. Let your self-awareness help others build their own. Your voice could be the one to show someone a new possibility. Yeah, you know what? I feel like, first of all, I think that when other people see you, they see new possibilities. They see new beginnings. They see an opportunity to grow with someone. You know what I mean? I feel like when anyone is around your energy, they're in the energy of possibility, right? I feel like, and I just saw 1111 on the camera, so confirmed. We do have the white buffalo card here, and you know what? People stop and stare at you because when they see you as someone who's very majestic. So people see you as someone who is very beautiful and impressive and dignified. I do feel like others see you as someone who's abundant and very stable and secure in their life. And I feel like people see you as like superior to what they're typically used to, you know, like you're totally a breath of fresh air. If you know what it feels like to like step out into fresh snow and like you kind of get that first like gust of like fresh cold air, like when, I don't know, it's almost like this rejuvenating, like you just feel like renewed, right? Like almost like jumping in an ice bath. Like it's just a feeling that you can't describe. And I feel like that is how you make other people feel. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, I just do feel like you really stand out from the crowd. You're someone that's very unique. And I feel like you're someone that's very one of a kind, Pile 2. So I do feel like you have maybe like a very unique personality. You're not just like another sheep. You're a very independent thinker. And I feel like you're an out-of-the-box thinker who isn't bound by like traditional societal expectations. Like I feel like others really like having deep conversations with you, and you're just that kind of person that can talk about all sorts of things without judging the other person for their differences in beliefs or opinions. Like I really do feel like you have this very mystical shaman-like energy, and you bring balance and harmony to the lives of those around you. So I do feel like there are people out there who want to support you just as much as you support them. So I think this is a reminder to be open to let others help you too, let others support you. And you really don't have to do it all alone, Pile 2. So we have the Great Nurturer, and it says Moon. It says, I give and receive nourishment. So, you know, some other words that come to mind when people look at you are mothering, nurturing, devoted, loving, wise, empathetic, compassionate, abundant, generous, receptive, emotional, inclusive, supportive, and stable. Yes, I do feel like you're someone who others see as caring, right? And kind and protective of those that you love. You're very emotionally intelligent and sensitive to the needs of those around you. So many of you here are empaths, and you know, if you're interested in learning more about your empath gifts and you want to learn how to set healthy boundaries, you know, manage energetic overwhelm, please, again, check out my empath self-study course. It's really one of my favorite courses that I've created. The link is in the bio. But I do feel like others notice how attentive you are to those around you. Like, I feel like you're a great listener and people can really trust you and your wisdom. And I also feel like others notice the unconditional love that you give. So yeah, I do feel like others feel like you have a deep level of respect for those that you love and you treat people very well. And others really do appreciate how much you look after their hearts and look after them and their soul and their emotions. And yeah, people really authentically, you know, feel like you care about people and you show them that love. So yes. And then we do have the wild card. So yep, your energy feels very fun. And we have the card of playfulness here. So this card says, oh, to be a kid again. What a life. With recess in the morning and scheduled playdates in the afternoon. There's so much put in place to support playfulness when we're little, but it's still a really important ingredient to living when we're all grown up. If you had mandatory recess today, What would you want to spend your time doing? Who would you want to play with on a scheduled play date? When is the last time you did something to just play around? Take a moment to think about your favorite ways to experience playfulness. Ready, set, play. So again, when is the last time you did something to just play around? I am so excited because I've just been thinking about this too. Like, my favorite things to do when I just like to feel like I'm in the energy of play is I love to go to libraries. I like to read. I like to just spend time in nature, reading books. I love exploring nature too. I love going to like botanical gardens and like the mountains and like hanging out at the beach. Oh, there's just anything to do with nature. I feel like that's where my inner child feels like most at home. So with that being said, where does your inner child feel most at home? I'm curious. Drop it in the comments for me, okay? And if you just want to drop me an emoji in the comments just to show that this reading is resonating with you, drop me a whale emoji in the comments. I really love connecting with you all in the comments. The next thing I want to do is pull some tea leaf cards for you to get more information on what other people think about when they stare at you. And sometimes these can be a bit random, so sometimes it talks about other aspects of what's going on in your life or what's to come, so we'll find out. Ooh, okay. So, I think that this message is not so much about what people think about when they stare at you, but I think it has more to do with just some important information that you need to know. Okay, important additional information that you need to know. So we do have the boat card here. It says money or property through an inheritance, winning or windfall. So be on the lookout for that. It says fair woman, dealings or relationship with a woman with blonde, gray, or white hair. Take it or leave it if that resonates. I'm not really sure. This could be like a signifier, like somebody, maybe somebody, right? Like for example, maybe you go into a business venture with a woman with like blonde hair, right? And this brings you, I don't know, celebration and fun and enjoyment, right? Okay, that's one example, but like you can like kind of connect the cards in different ways. So angel, it says spiritual protection, protection from harm. You're very, very protected pile 2. It says money path, a path with money is waiting for you to find it. So yes, I do feel like this money or inheritance or kind of good financial windfall that's going to happen, this is probably going to be connected to this money path, some sort of like venture that is going to make you some money. I think it's going to bring more balance, more stability into your life, more harmony. So yeah, maybe this is a time where it's like you are balancing your finances. You're not throwing out and taking big investments and like taking risks and stuff like that. But you're still able to have fun, right? Enjoy yourself, create an abundance of support so that you can kind of relax and let loose and just enjoy life, right? So yes, thank you so much, pile 2. I really do hope that this reading resonated with you. Please give this video a like if it did resonate, comment below with what pile you chose, and subscribe if you have not already. There is a ton of you who have been watching who haven't subscribed yet, so please join so that you can see the next video. And I'd love to have you here. So thank you, take care of yourself, and I'll see you next time. Bye, pile 2. So hi, pile 3, welcome to your reading. If you'd like a personal reading or a peek into my crystal shop, my services, or my e-courses, please check out the links in my description. Okay, now let's dive in. People stare at you because I think they want to actually get your attention. Like they want to initiate communication with you. I think that they're even willing to like compete or fight for your time or attention or presence. They're really willing to go up against their, rivals to be your, like kind of be the victor of your attention, right? And side note, some people may stare at you because they're a bit envious of you. your life and your lifestyle. And we know that we don't need to pay attention or worry about people being envious, because it has nothing to do with us, but more to do with what's going on internally with that other person. So I just feel like, almost like, because we have the celebrity card here, and it's like sometimes we can be like envious of like, oh, I wish my hair like looked like that celebrity's hair, right? It can be as basic as that. But yeah, I do feel like there are a lot of people that are drawn to you. You're the type of person that would have very many suitors. You know, you have a lot of suitors, options, or people to work with, depending on what resonates with your specific situation. But yeah, being able to talk to or be with or be connected with you is a challenge that people are up for. So people could be staring because they could feel quite different from you. Like maybe you guys are from different backgrounds or different beliefs or life experiences, and I feel like they're very intrigued by you. So yeah, I do feel like people stare at you because they're internally like debating and brainstorming about how they're going to approach or talk to you. And I feel like people are willing to like change themselves for the better in order to be able to be with or collaborate with or, you know, be around your presence. But when people stare at you, I do feel like they could be feeling conflicted about how to go about getting your attention. Because I feel like you literally set people's soul on fire. You're very, very magnetic, pile 3, and people are very drawn to you. So people kind of get this like rush of adrenaline when they see you. We do have this leafy green plant right here. So right off the bat, I feel like people want to grow with you. People want to kind of expand, maybe grow deeper roots with you, get to know you on a deeper level. Let's see what's in the back of this card. It says, stay wild at heart. So yeah, I do feel like you bring in this new sense of like adventure and like kind of this like childlike creativity and like playfulness. Like I do feel like people see that fire burning within you, and they see that passion within you, and that's what's really magnetic about you. So we have the all paths lead home, inner authority, intuition, turn your gaze within. So what people notice about you, pile 3, like your energy and the authority that you have, that is what speaks, like that's what your energy like is putting out there, you know? Like I feel like people can tell that you don't seek out external validation and that you get that validation from yourself. So others see you as very confident, as very strong, as, you know, very intuitive. So I feel like you get these gut instincts, or you intuit information that just can't quite logically be explained away. I feel like you're the type of person that trusts where your heart is leading you, pile 3. And I always say your intuition is telling you the truth, so trust it. And I get a lot of questions about how to tell between feelings that are intuitive feelings, and then feelings that are more like ego-based, or and how to tell the difference. So, okay. Basically, your intuition will feel like a gentle, loving guidance, right, from your higher self, versus like if you have like fearful, lack-based thoughts, like you can tell those are a little bit more of like the ego-based thoughts rather than your intuition talking to you. And just, yeah, like your intuition's like a internal GPS system. It's constantly giving you guidance when you're open to receiving it. So yeah, maybe other people stare at you knowing that you hold this intuitive power, and maybe it's something that they just can't explain, but they know how intuitive you are. And people may see you as someone who is very spiritually connected or on a spiritual path of some sort. People might see you as someone who's very clairvoyant. So, you know, again, if you see like repeating angel numbers and you want a free guide on how to interpret these numbers, you know, like 111, 222, 444, 1111, I do have a free guide for you in the description of this video. But I'm also feeling like this pile is very much connected to the earth, right? And nature and animals and big time empath energy here. You know what I mean? So yeah, I do feel like if you're an empath and you want to learn more about your empath gifts, and manage energetic overwhelm, and check out my empath self-study course. It is linked in the description for you. But another message that I'm getting strongly here is that you feel like home to others, right? Your energy feels compassionate and nurturing and accepting and loving. And I feel like you're very sensitive to the emotional needs of others around you. You're very wise, you're very accepting, and people really love that about you. So we do have signs, which is the confirmation. Again, you might see signs like in spirit animal totems or repeating numbers, angel numbers, 111, 222. You know, I just feel like you're a very, very intuitive person. And like I said, you know, you might see things a little bit more clairvoyantly. So yeah, we have the Don't Fight It card. So it says, sometimes the most productive thing you can do is feel your feelings. Seriously. Think about how much energy you're expending by ignoring the emotional elephant in the room. Stop fighting, stop avoiding, stop suppressing. Feel the joy, the sadness, the anger, and the fear. Express it safely and fully. This doesn't have to take long. A few minutes can leave you feeling more connected and less distracted. Check in with yourself when you're done and enjoy the extra mental capacity you just created. Okay, that's a message in itself, but I feel like when I see the Don't Fight It card, I feel like people might like feel like they're fighting their feelings to like come and talk to you. Maybe they feel like, okay, like I really want to talk to this person, but I don't think I should, like those types of feelings, you know what I mean? So we do have the Ancient Forest card here, and you know, people most definitely can tell how deep you are. I feel like you're very wise, you're very knowledgeable, you're very insightful, and some of you may deeply be connected to like your own personal roots, your culture, your heritage. Some of you may have been blessed with ancient wisdom or ancestral knowledge that's been passed down from generations before you. But I do feel like it's very healing to be around you, much like it is very healing to be surrounded by the trees in a forest or to breathe in some fresh air. You do feel like a safe space to those around you. I'm hearing that you feel like a place of sanctuary or refuge to those in need. You help to ground and strengthen those around you, and I feel like your light is just so beautiful, Pile 3. I really, really want to emphasize that. And I feel like you carry that energy of a light worker, you know, someone who is here to raise the consciousness of humanity. And I feel like you've been through a lot in your life. You know, you've experienced many lessons, and you've gained a ton of insight into things that maybe you didn't have much knowledge on before. So yeah, I do feel like you have this really beautiful spirit, one that's open to growing and evolving. When I see this, I'm like, you know, thinking like no mud, no lotus, you know that saying? It's like you kind of have to like come up, the lotus has to come up out of the mud to be able to bloom into the beautiful flower that it is. So yeah, I just think that your spirit is just, that's what captivates people for sure. So we do have the Sun card here. Well, it says celebrity and then it says sun. It says I lead with my light. So other words that come to mind when people look at you are charismatic, imaginative, luminous, confident, authentic, inspiring, passionate, magnetic, impactful, public, fashionable, independent, noble, generous, and unique. So yeah, I do feel like people see you as a trendsetter. Your energy is very, very uplifting, Pile 3. And other people see you as someone who's very dignified. So very professional, very successful, someone who's attained a lot in their life, and someone who has accomplished a great deal in their lifetime thus far. So I feel like, you know, when people stare at you and they wonder like, is this person a celebrity? Because I swear they look like someone I've seen before, maybe someone with a big presence. But yeah, I do feel like you just give off like famous people energy. You know what I mean? I feel like you're someone who is meant to be in the limelight. I feel like you were meant to be in the spotlight, Pile 3, and it's time to own that power. You know what I mean? So like flowers don't compete with the next flower, they just bloom. That's like the phrase that I'm hearing for you. And you're just authentically yourself and you're radiant and other people notice this. It's just really hard not to pay attention to you, Pile 3. So I do feel like you carry the natural energy of a leader and this is really your time. So we do have the fear card. So people could be kind of scared to come up and talk to you. Maybe you intimidate them or feel they feel a little nervous talking to you. But okay, it says fear in introduction. So if you feel fear, you're not alone. In fact, we're all wired for it. Fear may not feel great, but it actually has a purpose. At its core, fear's job is to protect us. When fear is triggered by something it sees as a threat, it can turn on an entire system in our bodies called a fight, flight, or freeze response. The goal of this system is to help focus our energy in an effort to keep us safe. You might feel your heart beating fast. It's working extra hard to pump blood to your muscles, or your digestive system switch off because digesting your lunch is way less important than escaping a major threat. this fight, flight, freeze response can be really efficient. So it's quick to respond, but it's so quick to respond that it isn't always accurate. Sometimes fear mistakes meaningful risks as too dangerous, and that's where the awareness comes in. Fear isn't going anywhere, it's coming along for the ride, but it doesn't need to drive, and it definitely doesn't need to pick the music. These fear cards will help you to start to become aware of fear's role and learn to recognize what's helpful and what's not as you receive its protective data. With intentional practice, it's possible to cultivate a healthy relationship with fear and reclaim agency over our lives. Very, very powerful, pile 3. Very powerful. Okay, so I want to get more information from our tea leaf cards. What additional information does pile 3 need to know? What additional information does pile 3 need to know? Okay, so what I'm seeing here is that after, like, for some of you, you may have been going through a time when you had a lot of obstacles to overcome, right? And you feel like, you know, your wishes weren't granted. You felt like the bridges that you were trying to cross were broken, right? Things were not as successful as you thought they were going to be. Specific, some of you, like, I don't know if this situation or this experience that you went through had anything to do with, like, maybe like other people's greed, or I don't know, that's just going to be a specific message for some of you. But I do feel like after this, the sun is going to rise. There's going to be a happiness, and there's going to be a period of happiness and well-being. I think it's because you handled things so carefully, and you are going to be moving into a position of authority. So yeah, what other information can we get for you? Okay, so right now it could be kind of hard to see, like, the forest for the trees, if you know what I mean, but you will be coming into a period of better luck. Your sun will rise again. So yes, thank you so much, pile 3. Please give this video a like if it resonated. Comment below with what pile you chose, and subscribe if you have not already. There's a ton of you who have been watching and you haven't subscribed yet, so please subscribe. I would love to have you here. Take care of yourself, and yep, I will see you next time. Bye, pile 3. Hi, pile 4. Welcome to your general reading. If you would like a personal reading or a peek into my crystal shop, my services, or my e-courses, please check out the links in my description. Now let's dive in. Okay, so pile 4. I feel like some people, you know, some of the people who stare at you are people that you might no longer, like, speak with, or someone that you experienced an ending with at some point in time. But I do feel like this person probably still tries to look up, like, if you're doing okay on social media, or they want to know what you've been up to, and this is someone who's very curious about you. So yeah, these people or this person could be someone who you feel like betrayed you, or stabbed you in the back, or caused you some deep pain. If this is resonating so far, just know that this is your pile. If it's not, you might want to choose a different one. But okay, so yeah, I do feel like for some of you, this loss happened, like, out of the blue, or if it was very surprising to you. But I feel like you've either gotten to a place where you feel at ease and at peace with yourself, like, aka you've moved on. But if you haven't felt these feelings yet, just know that healing and smoother times are on their way. I do feel like you woke up one day with a clear mind, like, finally knowing exactly your worth and what you're not willing to put up with anymore. And I just think that you're in this period where you're not willing to take any less than what you deserve at this point in your life. Like, I feel like you're too grown, like, you know exactly what you deserve. So yeah, I really feel like some of you had to cut people off who didn't have your best interest at heart. And in terms of who these people are, I'm hearing that their behavior was the closure for you. I think you'll know exactly who this person is, or who these people are. But I feel like you've been patient and compassionate with people who maybe didn't treat you that well, and now you're over it. So you might be someone who has tolerated, like, BS for far too long, and it's not that you're going to let this person make you harder or bitter, as a person. But you're the type of person to just be like, oh, well, like that didn't work out. You kind of chuck up the deuces and you just distance yourself, right? For your own well-being. So I'm hearing that some of you had to go like full no contact in order to heal from this person. I feel like maybe they didn't value you, and so you let them miss your whole presence by walking away. And I feel like one of the lessons that you learned during this season of your life was to trust people's behavior and their patterns rather than their words, right? But the beautiful thing about you, Pile 3, is that through all of this, it's taught you to set better and higher standards for yourself. So really, not everybody deserves access to your energy, and I really applaud your beautiful heart and willingness to let the universe handle it. So I think while you choose better for yourself, like no revenge required here, karma just works itself out, right? So I want to give you the props that you deserve for maintaining your kind and genuine and sweet heart throughout all of this, because no matter how rough things got, you maintain your integrity, right? I do feel like you're a very intuitive person, and some of you may have had an inkling from your past that, people from your past might be thinking about you or wondering how you're doing. But unless this person is really like truly worthy of another chance, then maybe trust that you made the right decision in calling your energy back and cutting your communication off. I do feel like you have this very beautiful knowledge and this deep insight that we're all here and we have different soul journeys and we're in people's lives for either a reason or a season. So yeah, we do have this kind of like notepad with a sketch on it, a flower sketch with a pencil. And this card says, create something beautiful. So yeah, like out of darkness, you walked away to better horizons in order to create a more beautiful life for yourself. I think that when we go through tough times, we also kind of become master architects of our own life. And we are able to design our lives in ways that we feel best fit our needs. So here we have the Great Severing, and it says Mars energy, anger, conflict, softening to love. So with Mars energy here, people could see you as a warrior, someone who is brave and someone who's willing to fight the good fight. You could be someone with a lot of passion and heart behind everything that you do. But I feel like people also see you as someone who is very protective of themselves, someone who might be a little guarded. And if you're feeling any sort of resentment towards others or anger from past experiences with someone, this could be a sign for you to reach out to the appropriate level of support. So whether that's like a counselor or a therapist or a coach or a guide, I think, it's really important to give ourselves enough time to process things. But when you feel that hurt and that pain and that resentment has built up in a way that's just, way too much for you to carry, it could be a sign that it's time to find a way to express this part of you and heal. So, it could be time to open up your heart and clear out the old so that you can be open to the new, better, and brighter possibilities. So when this card pops up, it could be time to dive into some shadow work. Remember, you don't have to do it all alone. And this card showing up in this reading makes a lot of sense though, especially with the Ten of Swords that we spoke about earlier. So whatever or whoever left you feeling wounded, just know that this whole process is helping your heart grow. And I'm not here, saying everything happens for a reason, right? Like I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that you're the type of quick-witted, like smart person that can learn a lesson quickly when people show you their true colors, right? So yeah, you're not afraid of conflict. And I feel like these types of situations have helped you grow in so many ways. So just know that whatever is coming next in your life is so much better than what you've left behind. And I think that's really cool that we have expansiveness, because it says eternity is far more creative than the rigid, constrained, exhausted ego. Yeah, so I do feel like whatever you had to walk away from, whatever kind of, peaks and valleys you've been through, it's opening your heart to expand more. It's opening your life to expand more. It's almost like, it almost feels like this process of like realigning so that you can surround yourself with people who are aligned with you, so that you can put yourself into experiences that are aligned for you. I think that now your life is going to be moving into a more positive direction, one that's going to open you up to a lot more joy and happiness and emotional fulfillment, if you know what I mean. So we have the alternate reality card here, and it says, what if? You've probably asked this question while gazing through the rear view mirror of your life. Interesting. I don't know if you guys have ever noticed like somebody staring at you through their rear view mirror or their car mirrors or anything like that, but that could be a specific message for some of you. But what if you said yes? What if you said no? Pose this question to yourself while looking forward. Imagine 3 alternate realities for your future, guided by the question, what if? The size of your what if is up to you. Questions could range from what if I moved to a different country to what if I unplugged for one day every week. Get caught up in possibility. Yeah. So I also feel like when people look at you, it's almost like they've entered an alternate reality. They've entered a place that maybe feels like new and kind of like different than what they're used to. But I also am feeling too, like, remember how I said there's probably people from your past that are thinking about you? I wonder if some of those people wish that they could have like an alternate reality with you, right? Maybe they wish that things would have played out differently, right? So those are some of the things that I'm getting for this pile. We do have the circle of life here. And with the circle of life, I don't know, this is reminding me of like things are expanding again, like with this expansiveness, things are transforming for you. And almost like to like, okay, I'm thinking about this in like the way of like, okay, if we've been through heartache or loss or grief or anything like that, it's kind of like I'm hearing like the circle of life song from the Lion King. So it's like, I don't know if like any of you when you were younger, if like you've had a pet pass away or like, you know, if you've seen like an animal pass away or anything like that. And like, I don't know if your parents have ever told you like, oh, you know, that's just the circle of life. That's how things go. It's kind of like the same like sentiment I'm getting, like not quite with death, but like with any sort of like thing that you want to move on from. It's kind of like the circle of life. Sometimes, you know, people are in our life for a season, reason, lesson, right? So sometimes in that circle of life, people get phased out for our highest and best good. So I think this card comes as a reminder to just keep trusting your journey, keep trusting that circle of life, and things will keep revolving in your favor for highest and best good. So we do have the Honorable Warrior here, and it says Mars. So I take a stand for positive change. So some other words that come to mind when people look at you are words like brave, courageous, strong, passionate, bold, hardworking, territorial, athletic, competitive, decisive, heroic, loyal, disciplined, and action-driven. So yeah, I do feel like others see you as someone who's a go-getter, and that's that Mars energy, just like we spoke about earlier in your reading, right? So I do feel like you have this undeniable energy about you, Pile 4, like big energy. And I feel like you're not afraid of a little competition. I feel like your drive and ambition is really huge. And I feel like you have this very unstoppable energy. Like, I feel like you're excellent at taking a stand for positive change. And I feel like you desire to both improve the world and yourself through acts of change, right? I feel like, you're like down to champion out and like stand for worthy causes. And I feel like you also naturally stand up for the underdog and you'll fight the good fight, right? For what your heart believes in. So, yeah, I feel like you'd be like an excellent advocate for those in need or helping others to speak up and share their, you know, their own personal truth. And your focus and your will and your ambition, that's something that's really, really attractive to others. So maybe that's why some people kind of like gaze at you, look at you, stare at you. I just feel like others are very magnetized to you. So, I do feel like this pile here is like, this is the, where there's a will, there's a way, right? That's kind of like what I'm getting here. So I do feel like you know how to get things done right. You know, pile 4, you're an excellent leader, a motivator, and a change maker. So yes. We have the Feel It All card here. So I do feel like when others stare at you, they might be feeling it all. They might be feeling all of the emotions, feeling maybe excitement or kind of like nervousness to come and talk to you, right? So it says, consider some of the ways you might protect yourself from feeling pain. Do you avoid or numb? Do you push it down and hope it goes away? Now consider some ways that joy might get lost in the process. Have you numbed pain by binge watching TV only to miss a beautiful sunset? Or avoided an uncomfortable interaction only to miss out on seeing friends you love? We might try to minimize painful situations by avoiding them, numbing them, or pushing past them, but these protective behaviors can block us from joyful experiences too. Try being mindful today of little signals from your body when fear or anxiety get activated. Okay, I'm going to say that one more time. Try being mindful today of little signals from your body when fear or anxiety get activated. Yeah. Okay, so I want to pull some more information for you today for you to get some more information. So what else does pile 4 need to know for their highest good today? We have tree, affairs with your family, great good fortune, 4-leaf clover. So some of you and your family, some of you have families maybe that you're taking care of or supporting. Just know that you all are about to be blessed. We have egg, and it says success assured with good plans and hard work. We have eye, psychic ability, trust your intuition. Yep, this is a very intuitive pile. Wedge, something is trying to come between you and a friend or something you want. Bird, flying, news is on the way. Skull, hidden secrets can harm you. And weeping willow, family sorrow. Okay, you know what's interesting? So I'm wondering if like the base, because these cards are at the base. So I'm wondering if like, you know, any of you in the past, especially like has to do with this like painful situation with the 10 of Swords under the tree card that we're talking about. I don't know if like, maybe for some of you, someone tried to come in between you and a friend or something you want. Maybe between you and your family, right? Maybe there were secrets involved, but I do feel like family affairs will be blessed, right? This is the outcome up here. So family affairs will be blessed. You will be successful, you know, and it's assured because you are a great planner and you are a very hard worker. You're very, very, very intuitive. Trust your intuition, and you know, maybe what's going to help you reach the next level in terms of the abundance that's coming into your life. It could maybe be a vacation that you take that really kind of shifts your perspectives, or you know, kind of rejuvenates your energy or resets it. So yeah, well, thank you so much, pile 4. Please give this video a like if it resonated. Comment below with what pile you chose and subscribe. There's a ton of you who have been watching who haven't subscribed yet, so please join. I would love to have you here so you can be the first to watch the next reading. Thank you, take care of yourself, and I will see you next time. Bye, pile 4.